Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Eon Chiquino. I'm going to do another strategy video tutorial today. It's going to be a Zerg versus Protoss strategy that's going to involve a reactionary play to a Protoss Forge Fast Expand. And I'm going to cover the build order, the kind of deception you have to do to pull it off effectively. And we're going to use a Fruit Dealer replay from Intel Extreme Masters Tournament in New York for an example. So let's go check it out. So I mentioned reactionary play. Now let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here right off the start. It looks like Fruit Dealer is going to go for a maybe 14 or 15 hatch. But he sees the probe is already outside his base. Now what this probe can do is easily block your hatchery, and then you're just kind of slow in getting your hatchery out. You'll have to get a spawning pool. So anticipating that the probe is going to block his hatchery, he's going to go ahead and not throw down a hatchery and just go ahead and throw down a spawning pool and a gas right afterwards. So he spent his money. He's not going to be, as behind as if he came down here, tried to kill this probe. The probe throws down a pylon and he just runs away, and then he throws down a spawning pool. That's going to delay it. So you just cut to the chase, throw down a spawning pool and your gas. Now he throws down the spawning pool and the gas because he wants to show a Speedling opening. Or at this point, he's probably even just anticipating going Speedling. He hasn't really decided to go full on with the spine crawler rush yet because, of course, he hasn't scouted it yet. Like I said, Zerg is very reactionary, so we'll just see the method of his madness that he goes through in this game. So like we've got a standard Speedling opening here. Get the pool, get the gas. You're going to mine 100 gas from your extractor. Then you're going to pull guys off your gas, put them back on minerals so you can get your expansion up a little bit quicker. So as usual, he's going to make 4 Zerglings and a Queen just to allow him to do a little bit of scouting and also deny scouting from that probe. So he's got his Queen out. He's already started researching speed, like I said, after he got his first 100 gas. Start speed, pull your guys off gas, put them on minerals, and of course throw up your expansion. He has his Zerglings out. He made 4 Zerglings to get rid of that probe. That way he can throw down his expansion. You've got enough money, might as well go ahead and throw down your expansion. So we can see this probe is coming back into the base. He wants to scout out this hatchery. He wants to make sure, okay, yes, he's making a hatchery. He's not going to all in me. And you look at this right here, this critical move. He pulls his Queen over here to this ramp. He doesn't want this probe to get anywhere up to the top of this ramp. He doesn't want him to know anything. But in case he does, he's already researching speed. Now, as you know in this build order, it's about spine crawler rushing a Forge Fast Expand. Now you may be wondering, why don't you just go ahead, not get Metabolic Boost, and start your hatchery right away, or start upgrading to your Lair, because of course you need your Lair to drop your creep from your Overlord to lay spine crawlers. Well, the reason you do this is if he does decide to scout you and he sees you're not getting speed, then he knows you're going to fast tech to Lair already. So that's kind of a hint. So this is more of a diversionary tactic. If the probe does get in his base, he's going to scout out this, and if he does get in his base, he's going to see it. Now look at this, instantly cancels it. He instantly cancels his gas because he knows there's no chance of a probe getting up into his base as long as he keeps a pretty good eye on the minimap. He can control whether or not probes get in his base. So he cancels the gas, cancels Metabolic Boost, that gives him 100 gas, starts his Lair tech, which he's going to need to lay down creep outside his base. He's going to have 1 Queen out. He had a 2nd Queen going, but he instantly canceled it so he can get this Lair up as fast as possible. It's extremely important to get this Lair up extremely quick because you want to lay those spine crawlers down before he has a chance to get very many units out. So he's got his hatchery really close, his hatchery very close to being morphed into a Lair, and he already has 4 drones heading out across the map. These are the 4 drones you're going to make into spine crawlers. He's got a handful of Zerglings just to provide enough defense so the spine crawlers can finish. The really only thing you'll have to worry about, as far as units go, is maybe, or for sure, at least 1 Zealot, maybe a Zealot and a Stalker if he Chrono boosts it out. So we'll see what he does up here. Zerglings coming out across the map. Zerglings are free for defense. He put his guys back on gas just to allow him to continue teching, and he's got gas to spend, so he's spending on Metabolic Boost. Save up 400 minerals. You want to have these minerals finished so that the second you get your minerals, the second you finish into Lair tech, you can start laying your creep here. You'll have 400 minerals, or in this case he has 500, so you can instantly lay down all his spine crawlers. You need creep down to lay down the spine crawlers, obviously, but as soon as you have enough room, just place them like this. There we go. All those little spine crawlers are getting placed. Keeps these Zerglings outside the front of his base. Now let me talk about one thing also here for a second. Like I said, Zerglings are here for defense only. And also the positioning of these spine crawlers. You may be wondering, why doesn't he just put them up here? Well, for one, this is too close to the photon cannon, or why doesn't he put it in range to begin with? Well, you don't want to give him any advance warning if possible. It doesn't take that long to lift up these spine crawlers, walk up here, and then plant them. So he's trying to hide this as long as possible. And behind this, he's droning. He doesn't expect these spine crawlers to win the game, obviously. So he has a nice backup plan. This is just a really smart attack to do a lot of damage and take out Nexus or any valuable buildings here in the front of his base. So you can see one Zealot comes out, scouts this, and these Zerglings are going to take care of that pretty easily. And as soon as they start building, as soon as the spine crawlers start building, you can move the Overlord. You only need the creep there to start building it. After they've started building, you can move it. Go ahead, get it up here in position close enough to focus fire, kill down the Nexus. He's going to reposition all these spine crawlers. And they're in range of all these buildings, and it's pretty hard to take out 4 spine crawlers with a 1 gateway army. You just can't have enough units for it, not to mention if he has about 9 Speedlings here. So as you can see, you just take out buildings extremely quick. You take out the Cybernetics core, that's going to slow down his warp gates even more. Take out the Nexus, and at this point, I mean, that's pretty simple. At 8 minutes, that's a fast Nexus kill. For very cheap amount of money invested into it, you take out the Nexus, you just do a fast tech to Lair, you know, make 4 drones, make a couple Zerglings, throw down some creep, throw down some spine crawlers. It just happens so fast that they don't have the time to make enough units to fight it off. Now, if he would have waited to mine 100 more gas after he got speed, it just delays it way too much and is not nearly as effective. So that's the basic idea behind the spine crawler rush. I'm going to do another strategy video after this to talk about ways to transition out of this into something else to, you know, seal the deal as a win. Because right here, we've got a 1 base Protoss that just lost his tech against the Zerg on 2 base, so you're already in a really nice position. Now this is what I would call a build order win. He had to do almost no micro to accomplish this win. You just make the right buildings, and literally your buildings win it for you. So this is just a really smart build order. He read his opponent very well. He saw he was going for the Forge Fast Expand. He scouted it. He denied the scouting of the Metabolic Boost as much as possible. Made it look like a Zergling Fast Expand, which is a really common build. I'm going to pause that there for a second. One other thing I want to talk about is maps. This strategy is very heavily dependent on maps. Now you look at this map. It has a huge wide expand here. You can see, I'm going to back up so you can actually see the expansion. You can back up, you see there's a huge area of expansion here. Plenty of room just to put spine crawlers all around in a position to take on the Nexus. It's really easy to do this strategy on this map. So we're going to take a look at another type of map, Shakura's Plateau. This is a map that doesn't have the exposed Nexus. All you're going to have is the Gateway, the Forge, and the Cybernetics core. You're still going to be able to throw down your spine crawlers, you know, down here in this area and take out like 2 of these buildings without having to move them, and it's going to be really hard for them to stop you. You're going to have high ground vision with your Overlord that's laying your creeps, so that's not going to be a problem. In this situation, sure, you can do the same rush. You can throw down 4 spine crawlers, kill maybe a Cybernetics core, kill a Forge, stop an upgrade. That'll be pretty nice for a pretty small investment, and but you won't be able to kill the Nexus. So on maps with larger expansions, like Xel'Naga Caverns, it's going to be a lot more effective than on maps with these smaller, more contained openings. That is the end of this build order. I hope you guys will get some wins with it out there. Do some spine crawler rushing, those Protoss, greedy Protoss Forge Fast Expanders. And you're going to like the look on their face. Well, if you could see their face, you'd like the look on it of 4 spines taking down their Nexus. It's probably going to be pretty funny. Got some pretty interesting comments back from that. So make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/EonChiquino, your place for some of the best strategy videos on the internet. I'm constantly getting more and more people messaging me saying they're getting lots of wins with it. They're really, you know, happy with the build order, so I'm going to keep them coming. If you guys keep coming back, I'll keep making strategy videos for you. And that's it for me. See everybody later.